So you go to the gym and there you doom scroll on your phone, or you just don't get the gains you want? I can help. I'm your focus coach. The framework I will teach you is first to be intentional, and second to be engaged, and third to be relaxed. Okay, so how to be intentional? Well, you need a notebook really, because you actually don't need the phone with you at the gym, okay? And listening to a podcast is the worst thing you can do. Having people's voices constantly in your head, because you can't focus on what they say and you can't focus on your workouts. That's also true on runs. There is an argument that music can help with running because of the cadence to think of your running. But in the weight room, you don't need your phone at all. Take a pen and a small notebook and write down the date and the exercises you do. Write a log. It sounds so simple, but it allows you to be intentional. And it also helps you to get stronger, because you know what weight you are lifting on every session, and you can be mindful and deliberate about progressive overload. So this is true for dumbbell and barbell exercises, but especially for machines, because it's very easy not to pay close attention to the selected weight on the machine. What is the very core for growing size and strength? Well, you need two components: an adaptation signal for your muscles, okay, so that's the actual lifting of the weight, and the appropriate nutrition, right, making sure you have enough protein. So I let the experts talk to you about the exercises, which one to do, and the nutrition. But for a good adaptation signal, you need to have this progressive overload. It's one of the pillars of the so-called starting strength, which is one of the most trusted method of barbell training. So how would you implement progressive overload if you don't even know what you're doing from 1 week to the next? You need the log. Everything is interrelated. Your attitude toward the gym, the enjoyment of your workout, and your gains. So if you move the focus and the intentionality, you will unlock the rest. So be engaged and be relaxed. Here I want to use a really good framework from the non-dual teacher and coach Rob McNamara, who wrote a book called Strength to Awaken. You have a self which is grounded in awake awareness, and you have an ego manager that aims to take control of the doing. And the job of the ego manager is to keep you in what Rob called the habituated struggle, where nothing is ever good enough and the present moment is just not good enough. So the gym is an excellent environment to challenge the boundaries of the ego. You have the upper boundary and the lower boundary. And the upper boundary is tested during the reps, when the sensations are so strong that they overwhelm our senses. So the ego tries to get back in control. So each rep we need to be open, curious, and vulnerable, with your weakness increasing as you go inside the set. Working out is an incredible process. You start a set and within 30 seconds, you are faced with the habitual confrontation with pain. And the ego doesn't want to confront pain and weakness. We want to check out of the set. But this right there is your opportunity. Don't check out and dive into this pain and this vulnerability. And you'll see that you'll easily squeeze more reps than you thought were possible. So in that sense, weightlifting is like extra concentrated meditation. You are straight away faced with something unpleasant to be with. But if you are curious and engaged, you will see that in this space of movement, there is a beautiful stillness. So to recap, be engaged, be wholeheartedly with the unpleasant and with curiosity and openness, and have the willingness to keep going inside yourself. That was the upper boundary of the ego. When it's so tough, we want to give up. But what about the lower boundary? So this happens in between sets as you rest, because the ego dislikes being at rest. It wants this habituated struggle. It wants you to find things to do, but you can't just do rest. Rest is rest. It's just being and breathing and small movements. So you pull up your phone in search of a distraction from being, and you scroll and look for something. Or you listen to music, or again, listen to the podcast. And this struggle with what is prevents you from recovering properly. It prevents you from enjoying the rest after the difficult set. This is where we have to be relaxed. You have to be with your breath, with your posture. You keep straight and maybe do some relaxed box breathing. We are squeezed by the self-improvement. We constantly see ourselves as machine that needs a little more of something. We end up being doers. I hear people say, I do meditation, but meditation is just being. And weightlifting is the same. We try to do something that requires us to be present. We always want something else. We want to be strong. We want to be healthy. We step into the gym with the goal of finishing the session. We start the set, you already think of the next exercise. And this goal orientation, it robs you of your life. And I argue that it also makes the training of lower quality. Because right now, in the middle of the rep, is the entirety of your life in that moment. So stop thinking of a destination at which you arrive arrive. In summary, bring a notebook and not your phone. Log your exercises so you can implement progressive overload. And be engaged with the sensation in your set. When you want to bail out, do more reps. Tune into this sensation. Don't bail out and be amazed at what you find there. And next is be relaxed between the sets. You have to stop trying to do something. Just be there and rest. Maybe some slow breathing, a light walk, chatting with a friend. The paradox is that all of this being will make your workout of a higher quality.